So we pull into Canyonlands, pretty stoked because we kind of have an idea of what's coming next. And this is kind of the pinnacle of the trip that we're all looking forward to with Shafer Trail.
It was really one of the key trails that we had in mind when we planned the trip. Rainbow Trail wasn't even on the list when we first started talking about it, but Shafer Trail was probably the first trail on the list. It was the one that we had to see.
You know, you research all you can, you see pictures, and you know, you get on Google Earth and you go in 3D mode and you're looking at like how steep the canyon walls are, and there's no way to describe the views.
And it's really impossible to describe, but you're on the edge of a cliff. You've got a mountain on one side and a sheer drop on the driver's side, and it's beautiful.
I stayed to the far inside the whole way down. Definitely didn't want to take a chance with the vehicle weight, and just because of my personality, I didn't want to take a chance to fall off the side of the mountain. But it was just gorgeous, just going down the side of this mountain, and then off in the distance, you can see the trail that we're going to be taking. You can pretty much see 3/4 of the trail we're going to be taking because we're so high up.
And we got down to the bottom and we stopped again, and we kind of took a look back at everything that we had done, and kind of when we were just in awe at what we had just driven through. So after the Shafer Trail, we hit Potash Road.
This continues around, you actually see a couple glimpses of the Colorado River. You see these massive canyon walls, very similar to, you know, the stuff you'll see around Island in the Sky. It's the same formation.
There's some potash reservoirs where they have a bunch of water, again, out in the middle of the desert, which you can see from Google Earth, which really intrigued us. We wanted to stop and see it, because from Google Earth, you can see that there's this light blue, darker blue, darker blue, darker blue, eventually purple. So we got to see that as we drove past, and you can see where the potash itself is crystallizing around the rims, and definitely something different. I've never even heard of potash before heading out to Utah. Oh, we came in here today, went down Shafer, drove up through Potash. We're here now. We're just about to head up into Moab, come back down, may do Gemini Trail if we have time, and then we could end up on Long Canyon Road, camp over here.
After we hit the Potash Ponds, we headed back to Long Canyon Road.
It was just absolutely amazing, especially for a trail that we had not even planned to hit from the beginning of the trip. I mean, it turned out to be just an absolutely amazing trail. Relatively short. You start going down what's called Pucker Pass.
You kind of descend down into this little pass, and it's really narrow, and there's a few stair steps that are pretty challenging right there, not just because the stair steps themselves, but there's a little bit of camber. Plus then you've also got the added difficulty of the walls, and you're trying not to lean into the wall or hit the wall or scrape the wall.
I can see why it's called Pucker Pass. Definitely a little pucker going down there, but I knew my vehicle was fairly well armored on the bottom, so I could take the harder tracks to make sure the top and sides of the vehicle didn't hit the sides.
I think Rudy is the only one that could have had a problem there, though. I think there was a foot or two on each side for everybody else.
And then the next obstacle right after that section is what a lot of people call leaning rock. And so there's this rock that at some point fell, and it just kind of happened to rest against the other rock, and you drive under it.
It was a lot more rutted than I thought it was going to be, so it proved less boring than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The trail after that actually surprised us. There was a bunch of switchbacks and just amazing panoramic views.
We continued down and find a campsite nearby and made camp for the night.
That was our last night camping on the trek. So we all sat down, really just kind of had an opportunity to reflect over our journey, what we've been through so far. Really just having a good time, enjoying each other's company. We just finished up camping at Long Canyon last night. It is absolutely beautiful backdrop for the campsite, probably one of the most beautiful campsites we've had. And there were no other people here for the first time on this trip, which was absolutely wonderful. Just us out here, relaxing. It's good stuff. Good quick trail, got us to a good, nice campsite.
And we're packing up, and you know, I've got most of the gear packed into the Xterra, and I go and start shooting some B-roll because it looks like, I don't know whether Patrick's out there having some kind of moment to himself, contemplating his own existence. But he was out there, and I was like, well, I'll get some video of him kind of looking around and stuff.
Do what?
So I do that, and then he kind of walks back to his truck, and he kind of looks up right at me at the camera, and he's like, I think I locked my keys in the car.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Patrick.
Kristen, do you have your keys?
No, my keys are in my purse in the car.
I don't know any other way to get them off.
It's gonna be a bitch to get AAA over here.
Well, you're gonna have to break in the car.
What am I gonna break?
I don't know. But you're gonna have to break something. I thought you said they wouldn't lock.
I didn't think they would, but I guess I guess I came back here and I rolled the window up and it locked all the doors, and then I put the keys inside and closed the door to go change, and then that's probably what happened.
If you know Patrick, he's a jokester. So my first thought is, yeah, okay, whatever. This would be an awful place for that to happen, so I'm sure he's just joking. And I don't remember if it was me or someone else said, are you serious? He goes, yeah, I'm serious. And I'm still thinking, come on, this is Patrick. He's pulling a good one on us. And no, he was serious. So immediately we go into MacGyver mode. How can we break into this car? So we're all pretty creative, and tried a number of solutions to get into this car, to break into it. We had coat hangers, little plastic pry tool to pry the door away to get a coat hanger in to try and flip the lock. And man, I tell you, these 4Runners you can't break into them very easily. So, all right, you get behind it and push it. You can push the pressure this way. Now this has got like this weird arch.
We tried for, I kid you not, about an hour and a half
what are the next steps? Do we want to, you know, how do we get into this car without, you know, the last resort is to break the window. So Stephen goes on a hunt to get cell phone signal because we still don't have good cell phone signal.
I'm sorry, I still didn't get that.
We get a locksmith. He tells us it's like 200 an hour, and it's going to take at least 2 hours to do it.
And we worked hard and just were not able to accomplish the mission.
So at that point, we call it.
It didn't work. You don't want to extend it out? There you go, get some leverage.
So I tried a couple more times, that didn't work. And then Kevin finally realized, he's like, well, I have one of those things to break you out of your car. Why don't we see if we can use it to break in? And so he gave me this tool. It's a little spring-loaded, extremely sharp, pointy pin in it that's supposed to shatter the glass. And so I hit it a couple of times and nothing happens. And then, so we're like, well, crap, now what do we do? So I say, well, why don't I just keep hitting it and see if that does anything? So Kevin boots his camera back up and we go to do it again, and I hit it, and this time, sure enough, there it was.
Oh, we broke it! We broke it! You okay, babe?
I missed it.
I mean, we should have thought beforehand to wear gloves, but I didn't say anything. I didn't even think about it. Patrick didn't think about it.
When I pulled my hand out, which I did relatively quickly, I hooked it on some glass, and I had a couple of small cuts on my hand. Nothing really bad, but it bled really hard.
It's a boo-boo.
I got this boo-boo. I break into my car.
Hey!
It worked. Of course it worked. It's really not that bad, guys, for people watching the video. It's a little spot. It's just all that aspirin I take every day. Just kidding.
We bandaged him up, got Steven's first aid kit.
So we got in.
I got in. I reached in right around here, unhooked the door, and then got in there, opened the door, got in here, reached in, clicked this one, and we got in. After a good probably 40 minutes to an hour.
It was over an hour.
Over an hour of trying.
You have a minor wound.
Minor boo-boo.
A couple cuts.
A little boo-boo under there, which really isn't that bad, and then one here that my medic says is deep.
It's a little deeper.
Yeah. So, we got in though. Now let's go get some breakfast.
Woo! Woo! Breakfast.
Ultimately, it was a great trip and I had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
When can we do it again? I mean, I'm ready to go tomorrow. I want to go again.
We saw some amazing things, and it was exhausting at times and frustrating at times and amazing at times. And that's why I think you do all these things, is to kind of take yourself outside of your comfort zone.
And we all had a great time. It was an absolutely wonderful trip. And I know in about maybe a month or so, we're all gonna sit down and plan the next one. And I can't tell you how excited I am for the next one, man. It's gonna be awesome. I don't know exactly where we're gonna go yet. We got some ideas bouncing around, but man, it's gonna be a good one.